I played Blade and Soul in 2023. I did a video on Blade and Soul in 2023. I played Blade and Soul in 2022, and I did a video on Blade and Soul in 2022 with my experiences. I also did the same thing for 2021, 2020, 2019. I've continued to cover Blade and Soul every single year on this channel since I began, and you know what? I could definitely play it again. I could definitely do another video on why it is the exact same game it has been for the last several years that I've played it. But I think that would be a waste of your time and my time. Nothing has really changed. It is still the same game that it was. What I'd much rather talk about is what the studio has done in the last year and where it is currently going, because who knows, it might not survive into 2025. On December 7, 2023, NCSoft made a blog post on the official Blade & Soul website titled Soul Log, introducing Blade & Soul Neo Classic, an altered classic version of the game that they hope will replicate the WoW Classic effect that they found success with in the form of Ion Classic. There is no definitive release date for Neo Classic at present, but they plan on detailing various stages of its development in the form of videos. If you're interested in learning more about Neo Classic, I do have a dedicated video going over every single thing that we know, every single thing that we've learned up until this point. Regarding Blade & Soul, though, I wanted to get a gauge of how well the game was doing in 2024 by looking at player numbers, engagement, the community. Unfortunately, Blade & Soul has a single client present, which is run via NCSoft's official dedicated launcher, meaning that we can't see Steam numbers. With this in mind, I went to social media to get a rough estimate of community size and activity. My first stop was Twitter, where I see that they make a few tweets per month, typically reminding people to log in and grab some items or to head on over to the store to spend money. These tweets average 5 to 15 likes and a couple comments. They aren't really concerned with attracting any real engagement outside of the clicks that they get redirecting players to the game or to their store. I then made my way over to Facebook, only to realize that the Facebook page posts the exact same updates, however, having slightly better engagement with an average of 30 likes per post. That honestly isn't horrible, but when you look at gacha games, social media pages averaging hundreds of interactions for dead games or tens of thousands of interactions for popular games, this is quite alarming. Next, I went to the official subreddit to attempt to get a gauge as to how active the community there was. Reddit is always a good indicator as to how large and communicative players are, and not only did I only see 12 people active during peak hours, but only 4 threads were made over the last 7 days. Evidently, the game is not in a very good state right now, but let's go ahead here and take a look at their website. See the content cadence, the events, the updates. We'll cover the last 9 months. I think that's a sufficient amount of time. Before we delve into Blade & Soul, however, allow me to thank my incredible patrons over on Patreon. Your guys' support is why I can continue to make videos like this every single month, and I deeply appreciate you all being there for me. Let's start this off with July 2023, midway through the year. We saw an update to the Battle Pass, the Drop Scotch Games and Fortune's Favor events that have been recurring for years, the Soul Boost Plus featured, and the new Chaos Avalanche Den. Honestly, not a bad month. August was much more underwhelming with store items, the refreshing summer recurring event, more store items, Season 6 of the Battle Pass, and some minor rebalancing. The good news about September is that it actually makes August look better. New cash shop items, the Soul Arena reopened, another recurring feature, new additions to the Treasure Trove, and, well, yeah, October should be better. It's the month of Halloween after all. Beginning October, we see more cash shop items, a new Sanguine Abyss dungeon was confirmed, Shogun's Lament received a boost, Season 1 of the Blood Battle Pass began, Fortune's Favor Autumn Edition became available, and finally more Soul Boosts. November had a lot more going on, in theory, beginning with more cash shop items, a rebalancing of Bloodshore Harbor, more cash shop items, a Black Friday cash shop sale, the Dream Battle Pass, and the Guardians of Handan Village event. December is Christmas time, so there should be a lot of holiday events going on. December begins with a focus on the Treasure Bundle, followed by, in a shocking turn of events, new cash shop items, the full reveal of Blade & Soul Neo Classic, the Season of Wonder basic Christmas event, Season 2 of the Blood Knight Battle Pass, and Holiday Treasure Trove. Honestly, a very basic year. There were some rebalancing of old dungeons, a new dungeon, lots of cash shop items to motivate players to spend money, which makes sense given this is a free MMO and all their income is sourced directly from events like this. January was absolutely littered with blog posts showcasing much of what Neoclassic will be, while also doing absolutely nothing to fix the current issues with the game. In terms of events and content, we began with more cash up items, another Prime Treasure Bundle, more cash up items, the Frostfire Foundry, Winter Fortune's Favor, Blood Season 3 Battle Pass, Goblin Village event, 8th Anniversary event. Yeah, it has really been that long since the game released, and more cash up items. February was absolutely packed with blog posts, many of which had absolutely nothing to do with content. Things like the 8th Anniversary event exploit, more videos on Neoclassic, updates to their currency policy in EULA, premium membership, migration of all services to the Purple platform, closure of the official forums, and move to Discord. In terms of content, we began February with cash up items, an update to the Infernal Exile, the Tower of Memories event, which seems to be recurring, more cash up items in the form of the Sakura box, Season 4 of the Battle Pass, and more cash up items. Evidently, February was absolutely packed with content. If your idea of content are cash up items. And then we come to March. Well, it is currently April as of recording this video, and nothing has been posted thus far in the month of April. March is the most recent month to have passed, and we see quite a few blog posts detailing the Purple platform, currency exchange updates, but in terms of content, we have cash up items, a special one-time deal that you're not going to want to miss out on to attempt to try to convince you to upgrade to a premium membership. More cash up items, the Soul Arena is back, there's a hot waifu in a devil outfit, there's the treasure trove is back, the Blood Knight Burst Battle Pass is here, more cash up items, and that is it. That is the last 10 months of Blade and Soul. The game has been bleeding players every month, every year since release, and no matter what they attempt, has shown absolutely no signs of slowing down. Nobody I know still plays this game. Nobody online discusses this game. All forms of social media are dead. There's very little in terms of communication with the devs, and all focus seems to have either gone into the Blade and Soul spin-offs or the Neoclassic iteration of the game that they're hoping somehow revitalizes it, which after years of stagnation is very unlikely. NCSoft have done nothing outside of rehashing old scripted yearly events that have been happening for as long as we can all remember, with a heavy focus on pushing their premium membership and players into purchasing cash up items. There has been nothing released over the last 6 months that would even warrant a player waste their time and return to the game. Maybe Neoclassic will, but nothing in current Blade and Soul does. Blade and Soul is one of the best open world PvPvE MMOs out there. It has an insanely fun action combat system, some of the best character models and character creators in the MMO scene. It had fantastic PvP at one point, some great dungeons and raids, but this game has been absolutely gutted from what it once was. This used to be the pinnacle of action MMOs for the free-to-play market. It was what people played when they couldn't afford Black Desert Online. Unfortunately, NCSoft, with their incompetence, drove this game into the ground, and I genuinely do not think Neoclassic will allow for the game to recover from the lost trust and faith players had in the studio. It's a shame, but Blade and Soul is the same game it has been for years. Logging in and seeing little to nothing in terms of changes, seeing the same complaints, the game is a stagnant mess, and it's no wonder the player base is dried up. Now, if Blade and Soul is not an MMO that is of any interest to you, absolutely no problem. I got you covered with 2 videos on screen right now. Maybe more up your alley.